Well, hello folks, and welcome back to another Kipper Tales. It's been really quite some time since we did a vlog, but at last we're starting to catch up with ourselves. Now, if you cast your mind back on the last vlog, we shared with you a little problem that we had with the propeller that involved us getting towed back to the marina. Yes, we lost all drive. So in our investigations then, we set the camera under the water to see what was actually going on with the propeller. Clearly there was nothing we were going to be able to do with the boat in the water, so the only way forward is to haul out again. Well, good morning folks, we're back down here in Nayland once more, and a strong sense of deja vu right now. We're here today to get the boat hauled out following our problems with propeller, etc. So I've come down this morning to shorten lines and things like that. We're ready for the guys to haul the boat out for us. 9 o'clock this morning. Well folks, here we are again, in the finest tradition of things. Kipper's been hauled out, and well, I'm just going to mosey on over to see whether or not we can find out what's going on with the prop. We've got an engineer booked, but they're very, very busy and probably won't get to see him before the end of the month really. But the plan is in the meantime to think about doing re-anti-fouling, and you know, the above the waterline really needs a paint as well. But we'll just have to look at this thing and see what we can do. Priority one obviously is to get the prop sorted and get to the bottom of that, and I sincerely hope it's not going to be a big job with lots of hidden problems. There's a boat here I recognise. Completely thrown me by actually taking out the opposite direction to last time. Well, I've got to say, she looks a hell of a lot cleaner than last time. This is what she looked like after 3 years in the water. I think actually I've seen less weed on a wreck. This is quite literally a marine biologist delight. Thankfully Kipper was a lot better this time. In fairness, most of this stuff will just wash off. Okay, so the moment of truth. Yeah, that's just spinning freely there. Yeah, she's just spinning on the shaft. Barnacles on there too. but there's nothing, there's no resistance at all. So the way forward here now is to get the boat washed down. So while the man with the power wash went to don the wet weather gear, we withdrew to a safe distance. We were interested to see how well things came off, and we got as close as we dare, but I can tell you from experience, flying barnacles do hurt. I like that power wash, gotta say. So we decided to make ourselves scarce and go for a wander. Here we are again, back to the scene of the crime. And it all looks very different when you're above like this and the tide is out. It's all quite placid, quite pleasant. But on the day in question, I can tell you, the bridge over there was coming up at a rate of knots. And in fairness, there's not a lot of sea room for you to beat your way back up again. And as we know, Kipper doesn't sail too well towards the wind at the best of times. But you can see here that it's quite important to follow this dredged channel. And there's not a lot of space around it. So, you know, the sail back in option to me wasn't really an option, because, you know, we've got some clear water around us where we were when we had the problem. So it's far better to accept the fact that you're going to need towing back in rather than try to sail back in this instance and risk damaging other people's boats and your own boat and things like that. There we go, we return to one of our favourite places to be, in a boatyard. Looking at the toys. Okay, so while we're in the yard here, I thought I'd just show you this. This is a folding prop, as you can see, but it's what we call a sail drive system. The beauty of this, of course, is with a folding prop, much less resistance. So therefore, should in theory improve your sailing performance. Of course, sail drive systems carry with them their own issues. For example, it's imperative that the seal around it near the engine is absolutely 100%. Otherwise, you've got a hole in your boat. But the argument is that any different to a conventional prop shaft arm propeller? You still got a hole in your boat. Okay, so post washdown, this is what we're looking at here. So there's no resistance there at all. And I do believe that if I slag that bolt off, I would probably be able to take the whole damn thing off. If I've got the kit, I might even do that. But let's have a look at the rest of her. She looks a lot better than she did. But see, this worries me each time now. Look, what happened to that? That was new at the last haul out, and it was whole earlier. You know, that's bloody annoying. You know, when we came to look at the boat earlier, this was all complete. Luckily that one's still whole and seems to be doing its job. I mean, this is the area of concern for me as well. Is really we need to rub all that back and paint the damn thing, you know. so the pin is out. So the plan now is I'm just going to try and slacken the bolt here and see what happens to this prop. Okay, so I've slackened the nut here, which is now just hand tight. Come off. Now really we should need a press to get this propeller off here, but I suspect the answer to that question is no. There she blows. There's the nature of the problem right there. So just to put things into perspective here, there's a bronze key that sits in the channel here, and you can see part of it's still there. The other part actually sits within the propeller itself. Again, you can see the other half of it sitting in the groove just here. Fortunately, the remains of the old key came out quite easily. The bit remaining within the propeller was probably going to be another story. Okay, so I'll clean up some of the barnacles with a light sanding. So, a little bit of scoring in there. Not really sure about that. But the keyway's generally cleaned out now. For now I've reached the limits of my ability and have to hand over this particular project to an engineer who can make me up a new bronze key, etc. From then on, obviously, it's a case of getting it refitted, but in the meantime the boat's out of the water and there's plenty to get on with. And the other job I have to do is, in part 2, we get on with some of the mechanical elements that we wanted to do while the boat's out of the water. Make a start on the sanding and painting. And our boat window shopping suddenly starts to take a serious turn. And I'll just leave you with this. If we thought we had prop problems, look at this. Oh, that's going to be expensive. Thanks for being part of this journey, folks. Don't forget, hit that bell and stay up to date with all the latest developments.